Hey everybody,
Hey,
Bobby D,
hey.
and we are here. This is Cubbage Critiques, the show where we critique anything.
Anything.
Yeah, lost my train of thought. Yeah, anything. Okay. Sponsored by Vibrant Souls Health and Wellness. You can follow Vibrant Souls on Instagram, and you can email Vibrant Souls at vibrantsouls@gmail.com. So, recently we attended a very wonderful uh, play
Production. Yes.
production.
Yes.
We will be talking about that. Coverage critiques begins in just a matter of seconds, so don't go anywhere, right, Bobby D?
Stay tuned.
All right, welcome back. Man, what's so funny? Just the way we're just. While you're here, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We greatly appreciate it. And for those of you who are new to the channel because of our shorts, we welcome you. Welcome you to our channel. And for those of you who have been here for quite a while and continue to stay here, thank you. We
Yes.
greatly appreciate it.
Please ignore the noise outside. Please forgive us. There's always something happening out on the street for some reason.
Yes, but we will ignore that here on Cubbage Critiques. But recently, we attended a wonderful production, as Bobby D had stated, and it's one that I'm sure you guys know very, very well. It is called Jesus Christ Superstar.
That is correct. That is correct, Alex.
And I have some pictures here. Didn't download anything today, but
That's okay. You can show it from your phone. That's all right.
all right. So, the legendary rock opera. Here it is, Jesus Christ Superstar. And you can see right there, the gentleman who I just showed you the picture of, he actually was like, what, the star of the show?
He really ended up. Now, I know you're probably looking at that thinking, wait a minute. Usually, when they portray Jesus Christ, they have him with the long, sandy blonde or brown hair and all that.
Right.
Like, who is this character? Believe it or not, that person right there, that actor, was the one who played Judas. And he goes by the name, because he is an actor, a performer, and he goes by the name of Treasure.
Boy, he really turned it out too.
Yes, he did.
He really did.
He was incredible under that, as Judas in that particular production. I think that the people who did the original rock opera would have been proud, especially the late Carl Anderson, R.I.P. to Carl Anderson, who in the movie version, the original movie, played Judas. I'm sure if you've seen that 1970 era production, the movie, I mean, you would know that Carl Anderson was spectacular as Judas. He did a phenomenal job.
Boy, did he.
But if he were still around and had the opportunity to see Treasure playing that role, he would have been so impressed. I think he would have been super impressed. Like, boy, you really did that role. You did my role great. I think he would have been very, very proud.
Who do you think did it better? I mean, think about one was the movie.
I was gonna say
one was the.
That's kind of hard to say, because then I would have had. So this is what I would have had to have seen. I would have had to have seen what Treasure could have done in a movie version, and I would have had to have seen Carl Anderson play it in the theater. So it's kind of hard. It's different between the theater version and the television version. It's actually not, but they both did a great job. if you have the opportunity to see, I'm sure you could stream it, download it somewhere. The original, if you haven't seen it, Jesus Christ Superstar. It's great. It's great, and I love Jesus Christ Superstar for the fact that at that point in history in the 70s, not saying that people weren't going to church, but they kind of, I hate to say it, kind of like nowadays, are kind of laxed with going to church. And Jesus Christ Superstar kind of brought the Bible into your face, but it made it kind of a fun, kind of a fun thing. But they did go, but even though it was a rock opera, they did go by the Bible. They really did. So amazing. I told some of my coworkers that we were going to go see Jesus Christ Superstar. What? I don't want to see that.
But they should have.
But they should.
Because
it's really good. It's really good. And then it makes you like, oh, wow.
Makes you think.
Right. And especially if you are not a student of the Bible, that might pull you in a little bit. And I think that was probably what the point was of making making Christianity cool, I guess was the thing, especially for back in the 70s.
So who was your favorite character compared to Treasure, who played Jesus?
He was the best. He was the best one.
You think he was better than the person that played Jesus?
Yes. And the reason why I say that, unfortunately, I know it's called Jesus Christ Superstar, obviously. It's about Jesus.
You would think Jesus would be the star.
Jesus is the star. He's always the star. He is the star. However, I don't know what the qualifications are to play Judas, but every time we've seen Jesus Christ Superstar, whether it be the movie or any one of these productions, the Judas character is so much better. I hate to say that. The Judas character is always on point. Not the Jesus character isn't. But Treasure, I'm sure people will remember his performance.
Okay. I can agree with that. It was a really good performance. So my thing and my take on it is this: he was the best person there. The lady who played Mary Magdalene,
she was fantastic.
I thought she had a great voice too. A lot of the people, and I thought the dancers.
Yeah, they did a great job.
The dancers and the now who was I always get this character's name mixed up. The guy that does "You Got the Power," and
that was Simon.
Simon. Okay, how do you think he did?
He did wonderful. He did. It was a really fantastic production all around. But like I said, Treasure stood out the most.
Yeah,
he stood out the most for me. That's
the guy's got some great acting skills, I'll tell you.
Yes, he does, and some awesome vocals. Awesome vocals, and he played the guitar as well. It's going to be a little bit of a spoiler alert. Okay, spoiler alert. I don't know, if whoever's watching, we don't know exactly how much about the Bible that but of course, the 12 disciples / 11 want to get rid of Judas. I don't want to say all, but pretty much once Jesus was crucified, then resurrected, and went to heaven. And the rest of them, lived their lives, as we all are now. They live their lives out. But many of the disciples died strange, suspicious deaths. And there, of course, are you have to read and research and all that stuff, but mainly what people have said, not that anybody that's around now would have been alive back then,
Right.
but from what their research has said, they said that Judas hung himself on a tree because he was just so distraught over what had happened to Jesus, and knowing that it was really his fault, leading the soldiers to Jesus, and betraying him with the kiss, for the those who know.
Mhm.
So with that being said, he hung himself, and we were wondering because we had, of course, read those passages, read the Bible. This, of course, is years ago. We've read all of that, but on the movie, you're able to manipulate, like your eyes, your eyes get tricked by what you're seeing. So on the movie version, with Carl Anderson,
Mhm.
he hung his character Judas hung himself from a tree,
Mhm.
and you see the character hanging. Okay, but live in person in a theater, you wonder, because they went to scale with the movie. I was wondering, I kept saying this, how do you think they're gonna make he's not gonna hang himself, like, for real. He can't really hang himself because we're here in the theater, we're right there. You can't do that, I guess, unless you have a medical staff on site.
Mhm.
But that would be a disaster. So they did it. It was a beautiful artistic way to do it. And would you like to describe what happened
As far as
when
the
Judas hung himself?
yeah, well, if you watch the movie, you know exactly what happened. But just so it wouldn't be so, I guess, dramatic and maybe frighten some people,
Right.
they didn't do that way. What they did was he was, if I'm not mistaken, he ran up these steps,
Mm-hmm.
and they already had like spoiler alert, they already had like a rope there, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But
And he
then
had like a belt or something,
a
like
belt,
he was.
but they didn't hang the belt, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he didn't hang
He
himself.
didn't hang himself. He said his line for that. The next thing I know, the light went out on that particular area,
Right, and
of the stage.
Black. Everything went black.
And the next thing you know, they went to another scene. So they
actually no, they didn't. Not to.
Oops, I missed the part.
So what happened was, like Sam C said, he ran up this. I guess that's considered scaffolding. I guess
Scaffolding. Okay.
I guess that's what that was. And he's up there and he's saying his line. He's screaming his line. He's got a belt, and we just hear like a thump. Everything goes black, and then when the light comes back up, Treasure's guitar is hanging.
Oh,
and so you just see the guitar hanging from the ceiling in the light. Like, oh, wow.
That was a good way to do that.
That was great. That was a great way to do it.
Because you did have a lot of kids in the audience too.
Right.
So it's a good thing that they didn't do it the way that the movie.
Because
it would have traumatized the kids.
Absolutely would have traumatized the people. Everybody. I'd have been traumatized too.
If you notice, when that part, like when that part was coming, you notice everybody literally leaned in like this, because they were.
What are they gonna do?
They literally were leaning. They were like, okay, they are, But I'm glad they didn't do it that way.
Right, but it was just beautifully artistic to hang the guitar from the ceiling. So that was really cool. Awesome. And I don't know. I think the costuming was a mix of the 70s and today.
I think it was a little bit more. I think it was more modern.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree.
Always my favorite part of the play production is when whoever plays Jesus says, "Get out!" In this one, there, he was pretty good too.
Yeah, he was
He
pretty
was
good.
kind of a rocker dude.
Yes.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, they did a great job. The guy who played Pontius Pilate,
Oh man.
yeah, he did fantastic. I mean, it was an all around wonderful job.
Yes.
They did a beautiful. Everybody, King Herod, he was hysterical. He dressed in a white suit that had all these colors and feathers and all kinds of.
I'm like, where are they getting these outfits from?
And these glasses that looked like Elton John glass.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful
Thought he
production.
was Elton John for a minute.
Yeah, we thought, oh boy, Elton John came for this. My goodness.
Yeah.
So it was a great production.
It was. And for those of you who didn't see it, the next time it comes in your town, I would definitely go ahead and attend that event. And if you haven't seen the movie, the original that started it all, go back and watch the movie with the late, great Carl Anderson, who played Judas. You will definitely love it. And it also has a legendary singer by the name of Yvonne Elliman.
Yes.
So you may know her, from If I Can't Have You.
If I can't have you,
I
don't want nobody.
So, which is one of my favorite songs.
And Carl Anderson was also a singer, sang something famous himself.
The Lovers and Friends.
Lovers and Friends. So I'll be your friend.
If you didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I know we didn't.
No, that blew us away. But yeah, make sure you guys check out Jesus Christ Superstar when it comes to your town. Next time it comes to your town.
We don't know if Treasure will be we don't know which production, will come to your town. But I guarantee whoever plays Judas for your particular production, that will be the star of the show. And if they are or if they're not, in your opinion, and you see this, please put it in the comments because we would be very interested to know. Put the name of the person, if you can remember the name of the person, the fact that they played Judas, and what the name of the company that they are in, just in case. In case.
I definitely would.
Yes.
Yeah, as far as Jesus Christ Superstar, like I said, it was like Bobby D said, it was very wonderful production. We both enjoyed it. We hope you guys enjoyed this. Anything else you want to say on top of this one, Bobby D?
No, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we certainly hope that you enjoyed Cubbage Critiques, and let us know if there is something that you would like for us to critique, especially in our town. We can certainly do that for you. That sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again really, really soon.